Hey, welcome back, guys. Here's silly me saying that we had completed Mumbo's Mountain last time, but I was just looking at the totals for fun and realized there's a honeycomb that I didn't get. Honeycombs are kind of the most forgettable, but also sort of the most useful item here. So, yeah, we should probably get that. Where is it, though? We know about the one that's on that pillar. So if I'm remembering correctly, shouldn't there be, like, a cave or something over the water? Something like that over here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, but welcome back. I'm the Comic Foil, and you are watching me play some Banjo-Kazooie, one of my favorite games of all time, along with Banjo-Tooie. I'm not really sure if I like this one or Banjo-Tooie more, because they both have so much of the same good stuff, and the things that they do differently, I kind of like how each one does it differently. Banjo-Tooie, I guess the big thing about Banjo-Tooie is that it's so gosh darn big. Sometimes it's a little bit too big for its good, but if you're looking for a more expansive game, that's great. Alright, let's break this open because we took some damage while running around. And yeah, that's one of the note doors here. I thought I was gonna, like, let these characters talk, but I don't know if I'm really going to... Well, I am going to let these characters talk, because someday I might actually use this footage for a character study. I don't... If you see my character study videos and I have a bunch of, like, characters on the one screen of, like, possibilities, you know, I do have, like, some inkling to do a character study on any of those characters, and that includes Banjo and Kazooie are one of the characters there, because I'd like to do something on them sometime and just kind of explain why I think they work so well as mascots and why they're, like, such a good, like, balancing personalities, but I'm not going to go too much into it here. And I haven't... That's not a video that would be, like, one of my next few character studies, unless playing this game, like, really freaking inspires me, you know? So yeah, we've gotten a little bit deeper, and here we can talk to Gruntilda. Oh, sorry, Gruntilda. So, yeah, Gruntilda. She's the Glinda to Gruntilda's Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, so her thing is that she can tell me gross secrets about Gruntilda. And later they might help me avoid a fiery fate, so press B if you'd like to hear them. So, Grunty brushes her rotten teeth with tuna ice cream flavored toothpaste. You'd think tuna flavored toothpaste would be enough, but it's tuna ice cream. She also washes her hair with rancid milk. And she gets her clothes from the witch's warehouse. That doesn't necessarily... I don't know, that sounds kind of cool. I can see my wife shopping somewhere. We like those kinds of metaphysical stores. Alright, so the purpose of that is that at the end of the game, there's something that will ask you questions about... That will ask you questions about Gruntilda, and they're actually randomly generated every time. Like, I think there's 3 possibilities for each question, so every time you start a new save file, it will randomly assign what those facts about her are. But Comic, this isn't Super Mario 64, you can't just jump into the painting. Come on. Get your head out of your butt. No, we need to go to... So yeah, an interesting thing is that the painting that opens the world will be in one place, and then the entrance to the actual world will be someplace else. But I believe if I go down here... yeah, Grunty's lair is kind of labyrinthine, and I don't always remember it all that well. Like, I eventually pick it up again every time I play, but it's not something that, like, sticks in my memory when I'm away from the game the way... the way that some of the actual worlds do. So this is one of my favorite levels. This is Treasure Trove Cove. Though I'll show you why when I was a kid it was one of my least favorite levels right now. This freaking shark was the most terrifying thing in the world to me when I was a kid. So yeah, anytime you go into the water in Treasure Trove Cove, Snacker the shark shows up. I was mortified of him. But okay, something I haven't remarked on yet is the music in this game is so good. Grant freaking Kirkhope. I keep messing up my timing on attacking these crabs. But I should probably get that right because I'm going to really want that health in a second here. So we're going to start by picking on this big guy, this giant hermit crab. Hey, this is Nipper's Beach. Kazooie with the E-rated trash talk. So yeah, we just gotta wait for him to get tired. This is what Banjo-Kazooie considers a boss. Banjo-Tooie will have kind of more effort put into giving each world a boss. And there'll be more pomp and circumstance around it, but yeah. So not really a boss, more of just like a large enemy, but now we can go into Nipper's shell. Something I love about this game, though, so each world has its own theme song, its own leitmotif. But then, depending on what you're doing in the level, it will change the soundtrack accordingly. So when you're... like here, it's slower and more like interior sounding. I gotta be freaking careful. Yeah, I said this was a very casual run. It's gonna feel real casual when I get killed by freaking crabs. Luckily, it saves jiggies that you've collected when you die. It's just notes you need to collect all over again. I love how their character portraits up there get more and more ticked off at you as you lose health. They look very disappointed in me right now for letting my health get this low. But it's also great because when you're gaining health back, they look like obscenely happy. Oh, now they look less annoyed at me, though. Huh. Yeah, we'll collect these out here. So yeah, all the tunes are really recognizable, and you get to hear them under a bunch of different, like, circumstances. Interior, exterior, underwater. When you're fighting something, it'll speed up sometimes. Like here, it already changed from Calypso to kind of more of a, like, accordion-sounding thing because I'm near the pirate ship. Yeah, I don't know if Treasure Trove Cove is my favorite level in the game, but this is probably one of my favorite tracks. Okay, so let's go up on our pirate ship here. We'll collect some of these, though we don't need them yet. Those are red feathers. Those are for... you can fly in this game. Seems kind of obvious that you'd be able to fly, because one of you is a bird. People are like, why do you need, like, special circumstances to fly? You're a bird. Well, because you're carrying a bear. They will resort to any sound effect for character dialogue. So Captain Belch here just... or Captain Blubber here just belches at you. And yes, later there is one that's just farting noises. So yeah, Captain Blubber wants his treasure back. I think we can help him with that. He lost it on his own ship when he ran aground here. Another thing that used to really scare me in any video game as a kid was I was always afraid of being underwater, because seeing the timer for how long you can survive underwater would freak me out so much. Like, even then, like, I had plenty of time there, but I decided to come back up for breath. I guess just drowning is a very scary concept for me. I mean, that's gotta be a pretty bad way to die. Not that, you know, you can feel it, but... So anything with... I think it's because also when you're in the water, you don't have, like, your full moveset. You're so vulnerable in the water in video games. So yeah, Captain Blubber can't swim, even though he's a hippo. People complain about why can't Kazooie fly. Because she's carrying a bear. That's a better excuse than why... You're a hippopotamus. You're a river horse. That's what your name means. You're one of the most dangerous water mammals. They say that, that's one of the most deadly animals you can come across in Africa, actually, are hippos, because they're super territorial. But the most lethal animal in the world, actually, in Africa and in the world in total, is actually mosquitoes. I know you were expecting me to say, is man, but no, it's mosquitoes. Mosquitoes cause more deaths in humans than any other animals, because they carry diseases, especially malaria. I know you didn't ask, but now you know. And if you didn't know, now you know. Is there another Mumbo token up there? Thought I saw... Yes. You're hiding it from me. I don't even need that Mumbo token, but I'm gonna grab it, gosh darn it. Alright, and we got your treasure. Do I have to, like, throw it to the other side? Oh, no. Okay, I was being kind of weird about that. Yeah, so I guess that gold is heavier than the gold that makes up this Jiggy, but it's not jigsaw-shaped, so I'd rather take the Jiggy. Also, Jiggies have, like, inherent magic power that allows them to activate portraits that open worlds. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to bottles up there when I went up there, too. I guess I, you know, was focused on the task at hand. Also, is there another Jinjo up here? Yes, there is. Gotta pay attention. Your big chance, chicken legs. Alright, cool. So we can fly now, but only when we activate it using these flight pads. And yeah, to gain more air, we need to press A to expend a feather. And we'll get this little treasure right in here. That golden treasure was for me. Yeah, Grunty will actually stop rhyming in the other games later, which I find kind of funny. In Banjo-Tooie, like, she rhymes at the very beginning, and one of the other characters is like, "Oh, will you stop that?" And she's like, "Okay, fine." But yeah, in this game, she speaks entirely in rhyme. Okay. And let's get our other power. Oh, you want more notes first, don't you? Okay. Well, we can help this guy out first, at least. So this bucket here there's a hole in this bucket, and you're going to fill it with eggs? Is that it? Or does it just want to hold eggs? No, yeah, leaky patched up. It wanted eggs to... It wanted eggs to fill in a leak. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. And now we're entering this sandcastle. This room's actually really important because this room is how you put in cheat codes. Yeah, so we have a code that we need to put in using all the letters here. So we're going to spell the code. It's even written on the wall back there for us, but it's the name of the game. It's Banjo-Kazooie. But there's all kinds of other words that you can spell also to put in cheat codes. And later there's a character named Cheeto, the book, who can actually tell you some of the codes to put in. Is this a J? Yeah. And the O. K as in Kazooie. A, am I supposed to hit the same A again? No, it must be a different A. Yeah, there is. Okay. A as in alright, it's Kazooie. Z as in Zoink Scoob, it's Kazooie. Where is the other... Oh, I feel like I'm falling behind here. Okay, Zoo... I, as in I am Kazooie. Kazooie says that all the time. And then you get this nasty crab here with difficult hit detection. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess around with cheats so much. But there's stuff like infinite eggs and things like that. The other thing, oh man, I haven't even talked about stop and swap yet. That's also like a huge thing, which I don't think I'm really going to mess with. Yeah, stop and swap was... Rare had these big plans to do something kind of technologically unheard of for the N64. So in a attempt to, like, have saved data over the course of multiple games, it was going to be possible to basically take the cartridge for Banjo-Kazooie out of the N64 and quickly put in the cartridge for Banjo-Tooie, and it would read some of the data from Banjo-Kazooie. So you could, like, basically prove that you have a completed save file of that game. So there are secret eggs in this game that you were supposed to use Banjo-Tooie to get a way to open it, to open the paths to the secret eggs, collect them in Banjo-Kazooie, and then use them to unlock things in Banjo-Tooie, like a special move and a special outfit. And there was also, in addition to the 6 mystery eggs, there was the ice key. But those were not kept in the final version because it was just kind of irresponsible to be ripping cartridges out of the N64. Nintendo didn't like that too much. They said, hey, please don't do that. How many notes do I have here now? 46. That should be enough, right? Can that be enough? Because I don't want to go around the rest of the place when there's still this one musical note I can collect here. Maybe how about we... Okay, there's just eggs in there. I don't need those eggs. I will take these more notes, though. Okay, so this has to be enough. This has to be enough notes to do what we want to do. So... One of the cool things is they reintroduced that when they released these games on the Xbox 360. Because, you know, Microsoft bought Rareware, so therefore they had the rights to Banjo-Kazooie. They re-released these games. Nintendo, I think, before that, owned like 49% of the company. You know, they were entrusting Rareware to make first-party games, like the Donkey Kong Country games. Banjo-Kazooie was like practically a Nintendo mascot, but Nintendo didn't quite own it. And then during the GameCube era, shortly after Star Fox Adventures came out, which was the last game they made for Nintendo, Microsoft bought Rare. Which, you know, that's just business. I'm not really mad at anybody for it, but I don't think Rareware has made particularly great games since then, where during the N64 era they made a lot of great games, and also for the Super Nintendo. So hey, here's his up special in Super Smash Bros. Now we can use these launch pads to jump real high and get that Ekum Bokum. I always called it that because that's what it says when you collect it. So finding out when I got older that like there's a whole Banjo-Kazooie community and that a lot of people also called it that was a real treat. Okay, so I'm gonna not go to that mountain up there yet. I'll go over here instead first. Yeah, I skipped that one down there. I'm totally a speedrunner, guys. Alright. And, oh, yeah, there is fall damage in this game. You don't want to fall from too high. Here, let me reimburse that. So I don't even remember what's in these chests. More notes. Okay. I do hope I'm grabbing all the notes. It really stinks when you only are missing, like, 2. But unlike in other collectathons, it's like compare this to finding all those little figments in Psychonauts, where it's really hard when you're missing just one to, you know, comb the beach finding them. Here, they're usually out in the open, or they're in obvious places for you to look. They're not just, like... That was probably my least favorite thing about Psychonauts, is if you were going for 101%, those figments could be a real pain in the nards. So, we'll move up here. Yeah, my mind is all over the place because I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie. I can just think of so many things to say about this game. Yeah, so I can use that, and I'm supposed to just fly over to the next area. But I'm not done exploring the map, like, down here and stuff. There's more to see, more to do. I'm not even gonna go up that ladder yet. I'm gonna comb my way around back here. Yeah, I really like, 100% speed runs of this game are real interesting. This area can be a little scary because, you know, the shark, and the shark is scary. But it's okay. Oh yeah, there's not a lot of purpose to going over here, I guess. It's just eggs. Oh, spoke too soon. Would have been easier to do if I was flying, but I didn't remember what it was like over here, so... I'm going to not so carefully platform my way back. If I fall in the water, that's fine, because we're heading back over this way anyway. Snacker? He doesn't see us yet. Okay, there he is. Oh, man. Appeared in our way. Like the bull in Mumbo's Mountain, it is possible to stun him, but I don't think he stays dead. But you can actually, like, lure him out of the water and lay eggs onto him to take care of him, but it's not really worth it. You don't get anything for it. I guess it just makes the water a little bit safer for a bit longer. Okay, I'm failing to stay on that little rim there, so I guess I'll just kind of clip around on it. That was a chorus. It was a chorus of Ekum Bokum. Is there anything on this ridge back here? I don't think so. Right? And I think if I go diving here, I gotta watch out, there's a mine. I also keep pressing Z to dive, and it's not Z, it's B. That's like the one thing I've forgotten about this game's controls. But yeah, I really like this game's controls. One camera control works really well most of the time, especially for this time in 3D video games. But also, considering how many different moves there are and how many moves you like need to know, like that you need to be able to operate. Okay. Is there anything to that pool here? Don't think there really is. Considering how many different moves there are, it's pretty easy to remember how to do them all, because they're all something like press... Like, you got your... A does something, B does something, Z does something. While you're moving, A does something... While you're moving, B does a roll instead. If you do something in the air, it does something a little bit different. So instead of crouching, if you jump and then press the button to crouch, you move downward. That makes sense. A lot of moves are, while holding Z, do something else, and every other button eventually has something it does, specifically while you're crouching. Really makes a lot of sense. And then there's, when they're like trying to come up with more moves for you to learn in Banjo-Tooie, they do a pretty good job, but they get a lot more context sensitive because they come down to things like only when either Banjo or Kazooie are alone. But okay, I hit a red X before, not the Teen Titans villain, but that. And that's the second one there that I just hit. Each one is pointing me to a different location. So I'll head over to this one here. And again, I think I'm going to try and do this entire world in one episode, even though I'm coming up on half an hour now. I'll try to get it all done in one. The big thing is I don't want to hit 40 minutes. 40 minutes I think will be my, like, maximum. If I see we're getting on to 40 minutes, that's right out. Yeah, is there something over here? There's an extra life. Remember, there's the shark food island. This island doesn't even do anything. I think maybe there's a mystery egg. I didn't mean to fall into the water just now. But that's alright, we'll kind of... You know when Aang sees the Unagi and he, like, screams and then runs on water the rest of the way? It's kind of what I just did. And if you haven't watched Last Airbender, or don't remember it as well as I do, then that reference probably didn't make a whole lot of sense to you. Okay, so I could use the jump pads to do the long leg jumps across that again, but what do I look like? Somebody who can't fly? Flying's kind of slow though too. Based on some footage, it looks like an older build of the game let you just fly wherever you are, but I think it's better that they, you know, put flight pads in, because I think that would have made level design harder if you could just activate flight whenever you wanted. You know, the game wants you to be exploring places on foot. Oh my... That was dumb of me. I didn't actually activate the thing I was supposed to activate. Here's another neat thing. I don't even need to land on the other platform immediately. I can... Like, it's actually pretty generous with that jump. Oh no, question mark. Where do I go next? It's okay, I go over here. I go over here first because... Man, getting this was, like, such an event for me when I was a kid. Like, having the sheer courage to go out to that box over there. And now I just kind of do it. Because, like, really it's just, like, taking one hit if you run into the shark. But I don't know, that music and everything... Why am I doing Talon Trot? Don't do Talon Trot. That's the wrong move. Also, even though it's nice to have a projectile, they won't actually think to make that much more usable until Banjo-Tooie. And now the treasure chest is, like, afraid of me. How do I hit this again? There we go. Okay, I see another Mumbo token over here, to use the official term. And how many is that? Didn't actually look. All I know is that I have 91 notes. I'm too lazy to go in and look if I how many jiggies I have, but I know where at least one more jiggy is on this level. So we'll head over there next. Alright, I'm a little scared for later levels, though, where I don't have as great a memory of where things are. Like this. Here, they put this little note here to remind you to look over here, to make sure that that ridge stands out for you. And maybe that's why they want all the notes to come back if you die, because they want to be able to remind you of stuff. I just realized I'm probably making really loud noises with my controller mashing A so close to the microphone. I also like that up here you don't hear the music anymore, but you can actually fall down to the rest of the stage from here. Like, it doesn't take a new loading screen or anything, it goes right in there. Okay, cool. And that's number 9. And number 10 should be on the top of this little tower here. So let's go. Man, we are really killing it right now. And then you know, you watch something at GDQ where they've like already beaten the entire game by now. Here's the problem, though. Where are those last few notes? Oh. There's a pad back here. Okay. So yeah, on top of the lighthouse. And he does that dance. I was really excited that that was one of his taunts in Smash Brothers. I had an idea for years of what Banjo's moveset would be in Smash Brothers, and I was really happy that, like, that's basically what they did in the game. Okay, which switch is back here? So that's the other big thing. That's going to make a new jiggy on the overworld, but I'm missing 3 notes still, and 1 honeycomb. So where are the other notes and honeycomb? There's 2 of them. There's 3 of them. Okay. Okay, we got this. But where's the other honeycomb? That's the real problem now. I'm not sure. But, just because I like it so much, I want to show you guys what happens if I jump from here. Where the music slowly fades back in, and then I take a lot of damage because I just fell off a mountain. Wonderful. I think you can also just, like, you could probably just use your regular flight ability to fly up there to the lighthouse. But it would take up a lot of red feathers, because that's where you need to use the gain height. Okay, so we found the 1 honeycomb that was on a box out to sea. Could maybe be... Oh, I'm trying to remember. Is it, like, on top of the hermit crab shell? Or is it something where I need to, like, move one of these guys? Did I get what was at the bottom of this pool already? I think I did. Yeah, let me search around a little bit first. Okay, that's an extra life, which is nice, but not necessary, especially because I'm probably going to stop playing after I record this episode, and I don't think it's going to save my extra lives. Oh, I see it. Okay. Put it in this little corner down here. Yeah, the honeycombs are probably the most, like, randomly hidden things, because they're also the, like, least associated with completion. It's really just there as an extra. But okay, that is finally everything we can get in Treasure Trove Cove. Sort of. I'd like to get out of the level first before I end the episode. Yeah, I didn't want to use a guide to look it up, so I wandered around for a little bit first. I want to do this through a combination of my memory of the game and also just intuition of level design. But if you remember before, we hit a witch switch which fired a cannon, and that got us this nice little jiggy up here. So that is going to be it today for Banjo-Kazooie. That is 2 worlds down and 3 jiggies in Grunty's lair. So I'm the Comic Foil. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time for Clanker's Cavern. Everybody's favorite level. I guess that's not the most ironic. I don't think it's many people's favorite level, but I don't think it's the, like, all-round most despised level either. I think that's gonna be quite a while from now. Anyway, see you later.